I even remind him about the team, and he knows the team because the team did brief him 17 March in Durban. So that this team has been disbanded, and I don't know why, and it's been disbanded urgently, and he was taken aback also why it is this happening, and that's why I said, well, it's not. I don't want to cause conflict between the two of them, but I said this is not a request or a view; it's an instruction that I must do it, and I did try to knock for if there is, can we engage on further on this matter? And the minister said no. Of course, I should submit the report, which I submitted, that report that he required. So, and he said he'll discuss with the minister. But of course, I said to him, my proposal, if this thing goes ahead, which I don't know why it must happen, it should take the form of slowly winding it down so that work cannot be disrupted. And the president says, yeah, well, I think if it happens, that's what he will support.
So at the time you were speaking to the president, at that time, were you then knowing what this is an illegal instruction, or you are just still not sure whether it's illegal or it's still encroachment?
Well, no, it was not really sure, but believing that this looks like encroachment or illegal, but not one can't say, yeah, 100% it was illegal.
So the only answer you got from the president is no, ngizokhuluma naye. That's it.
That's correct.
The fish rots from the head, General. And if the country was to clean up the policing and bring back the confidence in fighting crime, I think we will need to zoom in the MPs, members of parliament, the executive and the judiciary. So my question is, we have few cases of you dealing with executive. Can you, without compromising your investigation, detail the extent of the rot in parliament and the judiciary of compromised individuals who uses their position in favor of criminal elements?
Yeah, well, through you, Honorable Chair, members, where there is investigation, we will proceed doing those investigations. I think we will not leave any stone unturned. Doesn't matter who, we will do our work, whether it's within general public, parliament, judiciary. We will definitely do our work. Of course, some of these things, when they start, you might not really know exactly what it is all about. We have I think there is one case which I learned about it later, which one of my officials, General Kumal, I'm sure will detail more about it. I think it refers more to the judiciary, whether the case at the end of the day was really a matter that people are involved, that they are investigating the case, so they will be able to talk more on such cases.
In your general understanding, is Lieutenant General Sibia corrupt according to the evidence you have in front of you or the report given to you?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. One will say alleged. You can't say somebody is corrupt before he's even found guilty. But there is concerns in terms of linkages that we are finding that we are still investigating, Honorable Chair. So it is too early to come to that stage or conclude, as you say.
But as a powerful person or person in the position of a powerful, as a person in a powerful position, like Ubaba Mkhwana has said, does the evidence say, or does it give that direction which is corrupt? Current evidence you have, or the report?
Well, it is safe that I say we are investigating. There are concerning connections and or reports. We are investigating those matters.
All right, thank you. The confidence of the public in the justice system is impacted by the perception that those who hold political power are not treated the same as those who are ordinary citizens. A classic case is Phala scandal, hence singazi ukuthi i-top secret or not. There are people who are arrested for having undeclared foreign currency and having above illegal limit of foreign currency. Yet the president was not even investigated by SAPS for both offenses. Even when pushed, SAPS didn't even confirm that the president was investigated. Yet ordinary citizens are arrested and charged. When you fail as SAPS to act against people who break the law, who happen to be in political power, how do you expect ordinary citizens to have confidence in the institution?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. No, investigations are done to whomever. There is nobody that doesn't get investigated if there is a matter. As far as I know, there was investigation by both, I think, Bela, police, SAPS, and also the DPCI. I know they were investigating other cases, even though, of course, they wouldn't be reporting that to me. I'm sure they report to the minister that, so there were investigations around Phala.
Was the president, actually, did SAPS confirm that the president was being investigated?
Well, they were investigating the incident, as far as I know, that happened there. And I think the fact that I am not briefed on the investigation, I don't know what was in the docket. It would be safe to say, I know that there was investigation and or two investigations, one by the SAPS in Bela, one was done by the Hawks. And there is a case currently that I know for the people that did a break-in. And another case I know there was case investigated by the DPCI.
All right, Chair. I just want to finish up. Thank you, Chair. One question. I think I still don't understand how to ask you this question. Uti, remember that when this Phala issue happened, we as a country had interest. Maybe if I should ask you is this: how interested? What is your interest, or how much of an interest do you have in the PKTT cases versus interest in the Phala case?
I do have interest in any cases, my work that cases be investigated. But however, there is a difference. Cases that are investigated by general detectives of SAPS, yes, they will give me feedback. But cases that are investigated by the Hawks, they report to the minister, not to me.
No, Chair, I think in Sengshawes Katsekuya alternate like
Thank you so much. I want to thank you, honorable members who are alternates. You have been very consistent in terms of compliance with my instructions. Can we move to honorable? We are going to take honorable Shikeleng and thereafter honorable Matthys. We break for tea. Can the two honorable members follow each other? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning, General. How are you?
Three honorable chair and members, good morning, honorable member. I'm fine, thanks.
It's not the first time that you appear in front of me for questioning. General, I'd like to make a statement. I think in my life I've called you 3 times, and the reasons for those calls were because the issues were of a serious nature. Yesterday you told us that General Mkonazi had approached you various times within his career in the SAPS to discuss serious matters with you too. It doesn't appear as if he just called you generally to discuss frivolous matters or just ask you some silly things. Am I correct in that?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. So, General, as the leader of an elite SAPS task team, because you are the leader, at the end of the day, you're the head, you described this task team as performing excellently. How is it that you did not immediately intervene or instruct that the decision to disband the unit be placed on hold until your return to the office after you were informed about the letter on the 2nd of January?
Thanks, through you, Honorable Chair. I would remember that I did indicate that I was on leave, and I was with the Minister on the 28th. Hence, I did say to the team, they can write reports, and I'll attend the matter when I come back. Remember, there was nothing done in that period. So, yeah.
General, it's very strange to me that if this task team was performing so well that you didn't immediately pick up the phone, but we'll leave that for now. You stated that during your leave period, General Mosekile was the acting NASCOM, is that correct?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
Was it then General Mosekile that gave General Sibiya the instruction to proceed with closing the PKTT?
Honorable Chair, I did indicate that there was nothing that was done until I come back from leave, in as far as the closing of the team is concerned. Hence, I told them while on leave that I'm not going to bother myself with this. I do not want to attend crisis that is generated by other people unnecessary. I was with the Minister on the 28th, he didn't say anything, so I didn't see any need. Why should I rush for such an instruction while I was on leave? So nothing was done until I was back.
All right, General, thank you. So if nothing was done until you came back, then you were the person that gave General Sibiya the instruction to proceed with closing down the PKTT.
I did, Honorable Chair, I think yesterday did indicate that when I came back, he came to me with a letter that was effecting the Minister's instruction, which was directed to General Kumal, where he was bringing the letter that I signed, and I didn't sign that letter. The next day, the 15th, after I said, well, remember, first day I told him that I don't want us to do this. If ever we have to do it, we're not going to do it this way, because remember, I said this instruction it wasn't a consultative sort of letter. It was a direct instruction that you do this thing. So I said, well, if we do it, we will do it in this fashion, which I said is the winding down, face-out approach. And I referred him to a Major General to go and assist him in the report. And the 15th, when he came back, in that letter or report, I still saw immediate disbandment. I didn't really read the whole letter. And that's when I switch off and say, no. I see that we want to go this direction, so leave this matter. I would write the report because I understand what do I want to suggest with the Minister.
Thank you, General. General, so if you earlier on said that the email was sent to your email address from the Minister, how did General Sibiya get hold of the document? And then how did he go about coming to see you with a plan?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I did indicate that it is standard that the email will be sent to my office, and I did indicate that my office I directed my office to send it to the relevant deputies, which they sent to the acting national commissioner, which is General Msikiri, and also sent to Lieutenant General Sibia.
Thank you, General. So I'm going to go back again and say to you, so in actual fact, you are the person that affected the closing of the PKTT, because you sent it, you instructed that the email get sent forward for discussion. That is how it is. So, General, if General Mkhwanazi did not hold the press briefing on the 6th of July, would you still have opposed the closing of the PKTT? Because clearly what you're saying now and the impression that you created at the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March is not the same, because you never once said you are opposed to closing this task team.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I did indicate that this directive was like an order that I must do, and I find ways to do it, and I want to engage the minister that we discuss this, because, as I said, of concern on the directive was he did assessment and this. The team is no more relevant, and which I said, but that can't be true. That's why I wanted engagement of the minister, that let's engage and discuss, and he kept on not acceding to this engagement. So the team would have been still have been there. It wouldn't have gone anywhere. It would still have been there. And remember, after we discovered what is, after General Mkhwanazi briefed me about what is the main intention of this, then that's when I say, no, now that we know, we're not gonna now participate in any further this disbandment or this phase-out approach. And I immediately also notified him that I want to meet you and see you on this matter. And unfortunately, again, that meeting never happened. It only happened a Monday after the 6th of July.
So you waited until General Mkhwanazi spoke to the media before you actually took action. That's what you're telling us. But
No,
nevertheless, it's fine.
No,
On the
Honorable-
28th of March at about 10 o'clock, and this is on your note SFM 14 on page 278, there's a discussion that says on the 28th of March 2025 at about 10 o'clock, a meeting was held at the Head Office Crime Intelligence between the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Khumalo, and the Divisional Commissioner of Detectives, Lieutenant General Sentimule. And then it further goes on to say that they decided together that the dockets, those 121 dockets, it says here 118, but we know it's 121, would then be given over to murder and robbery to Brigadier Khopopoditata to investigate. And so they made that decision. Did they inform you about that decision that they had made to then give the dockets over to murder and robbery? Before you received this note, did they inform you?
No, Honorable Chair, no, they didn't inform me. I did say that I picked it up somewhere in late April, May, that dockets are around headquarters.
So they didn't inform you about the dockets, because, you know, I see here that this was signed by you on the 22nd of July, and I go back to, I am not sure that if the press briefing on the 6th of July wasn't held, if we would be sitting with the same document that you signed and said that the dockets should go back to where they come from. And in actual fact, you say they should be taken back to their station of origin. You don't actually say that they should be taken back to the PKTT. So, yeah. If the PKTT was delivering results in such high crime areas as we've said, there was then obviously no operational justification for the dismantling of it without a clear replacement strategy. And you started winding it down, but you did not, there's no clear replacement strategy. Have you evaluated the impact of the decision on violent crime levels that they were operating in, and will you table those findings publicly with us? Did you do some evaluation on the impact of this?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think right at the beginning, the Honorable Member, you spoke about, what did I say about station of origin?
Yeah, you said that the dockets must go back to station of origin. The dockets be returned to the station of origin.
The instruction on that, what I was, the context of what you are reading there, Honorable Member, through you, Honorable Chair, is that, remember, the meeting of the 6th March, General Sibiya and the Chief of Staff and the Minister argued to say, I said the dockets can go to the province. They argued to say the dockets must not go to province because you will have the provincial murder and robbery, and you'll have the PKTT at the province of KwaZulu-Natal under the guise of murder and robbery. Which I said, but if it's like that, would we have a problem? They say, no, that's not disbandment. Minister was saying disbanding, meaning it must be disbanded. So no dockets should go to the province, but to station of origin. That's not me, it was them that said that. And that specific point did gain traction in that meeting to say no docket must go to province, but station of origin. So the context that is there that I wrote there is that I'm saying to General Sibiya, now you are bringing a submission to me asking to go and investigate these dockets that are at head office. Why would docket be head office if the last time we spoke of dockets on the 6th of March, the agreement was dockets go to station of origin. That is the context of what you are reading there. That's how you should understand that.
Thank you, General. So I just want to say then, I mean, you said that that meeting took place on the 6th of March, where you were present at, where they said the dockets must go back. And then on the 28th of March, there's a meeting between Lieutenant General Khumalo and Sentamule to discuss these dockets and where they should go to. But you had a meeting on the 6th, and then they decide that the dockets must go to murder and robbery. So I don't know, somewhere there's a disjoint here for me. Something doesn't make sense. And what I'm really getting, and it was very clear out of General Mkhwanazi's testimony, that the SAPS at a national level is highly divided within the leadership, because it really feels to me like there's something that is not right here. And it seems to me that this is driven more by politics and loyalty to certain factions than to competence. Because as the National Commissioner, you take responsibility for the culture and for the steps that happens within this SAPS. So, I mean, and the command structure comes from you. This, in the first place, this should never have happened because the minister should never have given the instruction. That's clear. So the minute the minister gave that instruction, you were the one that should have stood up and said, this is not the SAPS that I'm building. This is not what should be happening. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, I do, through you, Honorable Chair, I do hear, Honorable Member. I think you put a lot of facts and you go on. To assist you, Honorable Member, on the first part of your comments, what I was saying there, maybe it creates confusion to you, the murder and robbery or serious and violent crime, right? These dockets mysteriously find themselves in Pretoria. Now, an application is submitted by General Sibiya to say, I want to send a serious and violent crime team from head office to go to KwaZulu-Natal to investigate these cases. And that, what you see, is a disapproval to say, no, I can't send another team there because there is already a PKTT there, and dockets must go back to the PKTT, and which eventually did happen. And also remember, when General Mkhwanazi did the media briefing or press briefing, it is after that we now, me and him and General Kumalo, we now know what was the objective of doing this. We had now information that what is happening. So whether he did a press briefing or not, we were now empowered at that time to say, now we understand why the minister and General Sibia and them were doing this, and we are not going to now allow it. And well, then he did the press briefing. It's not to say if he didn't do the press briefing, the PKT would have been closed. No, I sustained the PKT from that time, yes, the ups and downs until in that July. But in June, we became aware what was the real reason. So after I know, I can't still allow it to go that route. Hence, I said to Minister, I want to see you, want to discuss this matter. But he couldn't still see him. I only saw him after the 6th of July.
Thank you, General. General, I mean, you've said now that after you became aware of the issues, surely then it was your responsibility to hold the press briefing, actually, and not General Mkhwanazi, if he, as the head of the SAPS.
Well, probably we deal with, through Honorable Chair and members, we probably deal with matters differently. Mine, I said, they must brief me, and I compile a report, and I was going to take that report to the President to say, the President, this is the discovery, which eventually I did, but even though I did after the press briefing.
Thank you, General. General, my last question is, here where we sit today, the release of the crime statistics has been delayed by over 2 months in South Africa. I asked you about it previously. It's not the first time I'm discussing it with you. Would it be fair to say that the inner turmoil currently within the SAP is contributing to the delays and affecting the organization's overall functioning?
Of course, that's through you, Chairperson. One cannot deny that, yes, indeed. I mean, there was a change of ministers and there was a lot of things to be done. And yes, but it will be released soon, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. I really do feel that, General, that there's something lacking here. And I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe of my colleagues in the room will ask questions, but I really, there's not once in anything that you've said to me today or the way that you displayed anything to us to say that you were not in agreement with the closing of this PKTT. And I don't know, you can tell me today I'm wrong, but nowhere is there communication from you that I can see that you've submitted or anything that you've told us except for you tried to speak to and you did this and you contacted somebody, but nowhere were you not in agreement with this. Am I correct to say there's nothing on paper from you saying that you were not in agreement with the closing of this PKTT?
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members. Honorable Member, if I agreed that the team be shut down, it should have been shut down. On a hindsight, you can see that the purpose of this instruction was to shut down the team while I was on leave for those few days. That's why it was immediate, urgent, which I said, no, you can compile reports, but don't do anything until I arrived. After I've arrived, Honorable Chairperson, from that time, where we were all in this space where we don't know the motive behind this, and me trying to find motive from the minister and not coming, up to today, yes, the team has ups and downs, but the team is still operating. As I said, I did the best. On a hindsight for honorable members today, because we have got more information when the instruction was issued, now you know what is the motive. Yes, you can reason that, no, maybe National Commissioner should have done 1, 2, 3. But if you were in my position that time, not knowing all these motives, and I think, well, I did the best I could, and the team is still there up to today. I might not have been perfect, I might not have been done the way you might have liked I should have done it, but I did it my way, but I sustained the team. The team is still there, well, of course, with problems. We are rebuilding it now, and we are opening a new political task team in Gauteng to deal with problems of Gauteng. Thanks.
Thank you, General. I have last question for you. Do you think that that crime intelligence in South Africa is savageable? Do you think that we can still have a crime intelligence in our country that is not going to be under scrutiny, and how are you going to fix that department? Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Well, the appointment of the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, Lieutenant General Khumalo, to that division did brought a new hope in that division with a view to resuscitate crime intelligence. I believe it can still be done, and the former minister was agreeable to the reforms that we wanted to do there. Unfortunately, there was change of administration, and in the new administration, there was no further traction or agreement. Remember, the National Commissioner, when he place or transfer a member of level 14 and above, that is a Major General and above, I must have concurrence of the minister. I just don't do it myself alone. I must have concurrence of the minister, and if the minister don't concur, you will struggle. But we can still salvage crime intelligence. There are good men and women that in that division that are doing well. And I must tell you, since Lieutenant General Khumalo arrived there, we saw tremendous work being done. We have a lot of successes. We're still having them now, yes, under the ailing conditions. But of course, we need cooperation of all, cooperation of the executive, which is the minister and his deputies. We need your cooperation as honorable members, because sometimes most of the distractions and disruptions in that division come from this honorable house. That's the biggest problem. It doesn't matter which political party, but it comes also from this house. Whether what their interest is, I wouldn't know. But we can still salvage that division and make it the best, and it can be able to be reformed and developed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General. General, I do think that we have a lot of good men and women in blue in our country. I think it is our collective responsibility to make sure that we create a good working environment for them to ensure the safety of the citizens of South Africa. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honorable Sigeleng, I want to thank you so much. Honorable Matthews, are you ready?
We're board ready, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning. It still is to honourable members and to the National Commissioner. National Commissioner, what conditions or material conditions, I would say, informs the decision to establish a task team? Yesterday, you also spoke that we have a task team in Manguzi. I think I've also heard you speak about the rhino poaching task team and then that. So operationally and strategically, what is happening that these teams are established?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. The task team are established at various levels. It can be a station commander's task team, which might consist of 4 or 5 members to address a specific crime problem, can be under the provincial commissioner, can be a national task team established by either the structure called the National Crime Combating Forum or the National Joints by the Deputy National Commissioner Policing, or it can be directed from National Commissioner to be established. So it depends where the problem is. And normally the community and or the honorable members and or the executive minister or the president can identify like a specific problem, and we might say, well, we'll address that problem through ordinary policing, or let's establish a specific task team that will deal with the specific problem. So it gets established at various levels.
Okay, so we will establish it's in response to a specific problem, but obviously it's regarding criminality. And do you take into consideration the level of criminality for us to put in resources into that? So in the bigger scheme of things, let's say the rhino poaching opposed to GBV rates. Like, does that come into consideration, or is it pretty much a political decision, like as we have seen in the case of the President Ramaphosa went to KZN, attended a funeral, announced at the funeral, we're going to establish a political task team, used the ruling party's position in parliament and in government to say, okay, we're having leadership problems here in the ANC, and we can't deal with the greed and the desire for power, whether it's councillors or whether it's their deployees to strategic positions. So we're going to use state resources to do that. So I was asking that question to try and determine, like, how do we prioritize criminality in this country and our response to it?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We prioritize crime, not to say in terms of if it's party political. No, we prioritize crime and we respond accordingly. Even the president, when he was there, he said he didn't establish it for purposes of specific party councillors. It was for political killings, and the task team indeed did sterling work with regard to what they did in KwaZulu-Natal. They arrested for killings of IFP councillors. There's been IFP councillors in Zululand that were killed. There's been DA councillors. You remember there's a DA councillor killed at municipality around Howick. Forgot the name of the municipality there. There's been arrest in that regard. You remember the DA councillor in Beckville who banned his family there and accused other people. We made a breakthrough there. So it's not about a specific party. No, the task team was dealing with matters of whether it's within a party or is one party killing another party. The team did sterling work and arrested in everyone. We do have, in terms of GBV, Honorable Member, we have a unit. It's not a task team. It's a specific unit that is there. We call it family violence and child protection. That is dealing with the cases. And of course, remember, where there is such a case which we might not understand how it is, it's high-profile case, GBV, we do establish those task teams to go and investigate and make a breakthrough. After breakthrough, then we dissolve the task team. It's not that we prioritize rhinos and politicians over other people. No, we prioritize crime.
Okay, General, the less we say about the FCS, the better.
#SAFM Talking Point.
On the top stories, Masamula claims Mkhunu breached protocol and ceasefire in question as strikes hit Gaza. For SAFM News, I am Ondalambana and a very good morning. National Police Commissioner Fani Masamula says Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu's decision to disband the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team was unlawful. Today is Masamula's second appearance before Parliament's ad hoc committee, which is probing allegations of criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system. KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi made the allegations in July. Action SA MP Darlene James asked Masamula whether Mkhunu's instruction to disband the task team was legal.
But it was an unlawful act because it was operational. He was getting involved in operational matters.
Well, according to me, yes, but of course, I think it is up to the committee at the end of the day to decide whether is it really unlawful or is not. But for me, that's how I interpreted it, to say I think he's going beyond his scope, and hence I told him that I did emphasize that what are the reasons for this closing of the team. The directive was not a request, it was a direct instruction.
The High Court in Johannesburg is today expected to deliver judgment in businessman Gadiso Cathy Mohlahlana's bail appeal. He's accused of killing music producer Opa DJ Somebody Safuga and his bodyguard in 2022. Mohlahlana is also accused of killing Hector DJ Ventos Buthelezi and Vereenigings-based engineer Ahmad Swart. The Alexandra Magistrates Court denied Mohlahlana bail in August. Phumzile Mlangeni reports.
During proceedings, Mohlahlana's counsel argued that the state's case is based on speculation and lacks concrete evidence linking his client to the crime. He also argued that the state has not demonstrated a strong case. The alleged underworld kingpin has been identified as a key figure in criminal syndicates accused of infiltrating law enforcement. Phumzile Mlangeni, SABC News.
The body of South Africa's ambassador to France, Nathi Mthethwa, will be transported to KwaZulu-Natal for burial this week, and the plane carrying the body landed at the OR Tambo International Airport this morning. Mthethwa's body was found in a Paris hotel's inner courtyard more than a week ago. Ditaba Tsotezi reports.
The late ambassador's body left Paris in France last night, accompanied by his family. Mthethwa died last week after falling from a hotel following his disappearance prior to the incident. President Cyril Ramaphosa has granted Mthethwa a special funeral category 2. The Department of International Relations is hosting a memorial service this morning in Pretoria to honor the late Mthethwa. Mthethwa will be buried in KwaZulu-Natal on Sunday. Ditaba Tsotezi, SABC News, OR Tambo International Airport.
Reports suggest that Israeli bombardment has continued in Gaza. This is despite a U.S. brokered ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Under the agreement, the Israeli military will partially withdraw from Gaza within 24 hours. Hamas will then have 72 hours to release all Israeli hostages dead and alive, while Israel will release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in exchange. Sar Shaf is a Gaza resident was living in a tent in Khan Yunis.
Until now, until this moment, we heard pumping all night, and this moment, the airstrike still continue in many places on Gaza.
The Limpopo Education Department says it's proud of 6 of its educators who were recognized for excellence at the recent National Teachers Awards in Johannesburg. Sonia Kalai and Regina Lebia from the Mopani West and East districts each won a vehicle for grade R and secondary school teaching. Another teacher came first in FET mathematics teaching, while 3 others were second in various categories. The department spokesperson is Mike Maringa.
Limpopo Education MEC Mabungule Rula Ramakhanya will meet with 15 educators who represented the province in the National Teaching Awards held in Gauteng, whereby 6 of the educators scooped awards in different categories. 2 of the educators from Mopani West and East respectively have won cars from the competition.
Recapping the top story, National Police Commissioner Fani Masamula says Police Minister Senzo Mkunu's decision to disband the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team was unlawful. I'm on Delambana for SFM News Headlines at 11:30.
Spring is in the air, meaning it's almost time for the 10th SA Garden Day on Sunday, the 12th of October. Celebrate the day with a garden party, lunch under the trees, or cake at a community garden, and invite your friends, family, or neighbors to enjoy your garden with you. Visit gardenday.co.za for inspiration and share pictures of your celebration on social media with #GardenDaySA. SA Garden Day, Sunday, the 12th of October.
The Warriors are aware they will not get on a flight to the United States, Mexico and Canada, but they are still hungry for victory, while Bafana want to return to the summit of Group C. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup African qualifier. Be part of the action. Zimbabwe versus South Africa on Friday, 10 October at 5:30 p.m. Live on SABC2 and SABC Plus. Then on SABC radio stations at 6 p.m. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
For the best marine migration, you go to KZN. For the best hiking trails, you go to the Drakensberg. For the best flower show, you go to Namakwaland. And for the best in investments, go to Nedbank. Earn up to 10.47% interest with the Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. For better returns, open an Electronic Optimum Plus account today. See money differently. Nedbank. We're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
This week on FC Meets, Tisetso and Bandile sit down with TS Galaxy and Bafana midfield maestro Puso Ditejali. He shares his story of turning adversity into opportunity and obstacles into triumph. Tune into SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC Plus this Saturday, 11 October at 6 p.m. FC Meets, football made for community by community. Retenta game. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to WeBuy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy brands that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. WeBuy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
Youth football is on a real vibration in Chile. 24 under-20 national teams are fighting for the ultimate glory. Rally behind African champions, Amachita, including 3 continental representatives, Egypt, Morocco, and Nigeria. This is the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Catch the action live on SABC 1, SABC Plus, SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4 and SABC radio stations from 27 September to 20 October 2025. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
I do what?
Why didn't you open the case as the commissioner? Because it affected you directly. And you gave an affidavit to him to open the case. So he became the complainant. That's my understanding. Or am I not, I didn't get it correctly?
Well, the offense happened in KZN.
Okay.
And I gave him the affidavit. Giving the affidavit, you open a case through an affidavit.
And there was no other internal processes that you took outside of sending the affidavit to him to open the case in KZN against those who were involved in moving the files?
Actually, I think he's not, well, he's doing an inquiry that he's busy with. I can't here as a national commissioner investigate or investigate a case at head office. Case must be investigated somewhere from police station. So what I did was right.
You don't have to, so the question is just internally as the National Commissioner, like there has to be some internal processes that you could have instigated outside of the criminality and actually open a case. Did you do any of that? Just internally, because there are processes, DCs, etc.
Yeah, internally, you should be aware that Lieutenant General Sibia is suspended and there is disciplinary process that is undergoing.
Okay, and that formed part of it?
That's correct, yes.
National Commissioner, the media briefing, there seems to be a lot of movement after that media briefing in SAPS. And could it be that this media briefing is, we're not going to really get genuine systemic changes because now it's in the media, our country is all up in arms in it. So those who halt and obstruct investigations in this country are just, submarined. So we've seen movement. And then once the country moves on to something else, we are going to be back to square one and possibly even regress any further. So what systemic changes do we need in the whole justice system, and I guess in the police in particular, to ensure that we don't have, it's going to be the same script, different cast? We've dealt with these ones that have come up now, and we've left a void, and then another crop comes in and does the same thing.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson and members. Well, we need, yes, an overall of the system of criminal justice. We need oversight to various institutions. Just to give an example, I think during General Mkhwana's testimony, I didn't watch it, the whole of it, either here or at the Mohlahlana Commission. Somewhere you saw that there was communication between Mr. Matlala, for example, and somebody from IPID, where the plan was they want to get General Khumalo arrested. But the other one was saying, hey, now there's no injuries, there's no JD8, so I can't arrest. So we just need leaders that respect their work, but we also, of course, need oversight that institutions that are meant to do specific work, they do that which they are meant to. They do not chase personal agendas or be weaponized to do nefarious activities and acts. That we need that oversight into institutions, and from the police side, we are prepared to undertake a lot of reforms where we see there are problems, but unfortunately, the others we can't. But we need an overall of the system in terms of when it comes to watchdogs. For police watchdog, you have your IPID, you have police secretariat, and you have got all other bodies. So I think maybe as the legislature, you need to look at whether should you have all these many institutions. You have IDEC, you have DPCI. Should you have all these many bodies? Why should you have IDEC and DPCI more or less doing one and the same thing? And you have police secretariat, you have IPID. I know it's there in law, but couldn't you have one institution that is police oversight? In it, you can have a DG with a DDG IPID and a DDG Civilian Secretariat of Police, instead of having too many. And you end up having police, instead of busy fighting crime, they are writing reports to satisfy each and every of these institutions. So that, I think, we need to look at that and look at what these institutions, are they doing what they're supposed to do? Or are they weaponized to do other things? So that is the critical matter that is a problem. Institutions are tend and weaponized to do other things. Like we have now, the counterintelligence operations in Gauteng. There is a lot of institutions that want to get rid of it, or they want to get their nose in there, whereas the team is doing quite a good work and they are getting rid of cartels and criminals. So that's the support we need, and also from the executive and members of this honorable House.
So we as lawmakers, we need to, in summary, what you're saying is to ensure that we don't leave a void after we get rid of cartels and politicians that are involved in enabling all this. We need to look at the oversight bodies. We have too many. And perhaps just have one, and that will assist in trying to maintain a clean South African police service.
Yeah, I think if you do that, you will definitely have a better oversight, because now there are many. Some end up, somebody from you end up going to one and say, no, do for me 1, 2, 3. And they end up being busy with all those things. If you have one, you can concentrate on it and do oversight on us, and we do our work. We have got nothing to hide. Hence, I have now, as you heard yesterday, requested the SIU to do lifestyle audit of all members of SAPS, because sometimes some of you of the honorable members and other public people, they are used against us to say, yes, Masemla is corrupt, yes, he's doing that, just to push a narrative that is not really there. Some have been paid to do those things, which is not the truth. So, and public end up believing, no, Masemla is corrupt. I mean, where did I do? Whose money did I chow where? So, if we streamline the oversight on police, that will work quite best. Thanks.
National Commissioner, yesterday you said there's about 840 members that are, I'm now on the vetting and security clearance questions. So you've started a vetting process of about 840 members by an independent service provider, if I remember correctly.
That is correct, Honorable Chair. It is a lifestyle audit, not necessarily
it was
vetting.
for the lifestyle audit.
Yeah. Okay. Vetting will still be done by crime intelligence and SSA, but this one is a lifestyle audit.
So how did you identify a service provider? Is it a private company? What process did we use in identifying a service provider to do that? And you tell us who the service provider is that's doing the lifestyle audit? Or could we not use someone in the Auditor General? Or anyway, you tell us.
I did say, I say it again, the service provider is a Special Investigative Unit.
Oh, it's from the
Mr. Advocate Mutivi's unit. They have got the capacity to do that. It's a state agency. I thought we can use them. They are independent from us. And they have done other institutions, I think provincial government, Gauteng, they use them. So I engaged the advocate somewhere in April, and there was some glitches along, but eventually we have finalized all those, and it's just final touches, and then you will start. But the identification of the 840 or so is the senior management of SAPS. That is from brigadier up to myself. They will start with that. When they finish, Then we targeted environments like your central farm registry, supply chain management, division finance, and port of entry. So those will be the second layer as a priority. And from there, we can then see how far we go because it's a time-consuming exercise.
So they haven't started yet, the process is about to start, is what I'm getting.
Through you, Honorable Chair, that is correct, Honorable Member.
And they have capacity because, you know, National Commissioner, when we sit in the portfolio committee, we say, yeah, we're starting this wonderful project and we're all excited. And then 3 months later, when we get a report, it's like, no, we don't have capacity. There was no resources, as we see with the issue of security clearance, which we come into now. And we determined that they're going to have capacity and more or less the time frame to conduct and complete these lifestyle audits of the 840 senior SAPS officials.
Yeah, those details, that's what is being finalized now, Honorable Chairperson.
Okay. Security clearance, do you have security clearance, National Commissioner?
I do have, Honorable Chair.
When was it? And it's every 5 years, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
So your last one was done when?
You don't know whether it's 2-3 years ago.
Okay. Why do you appoint people into positions, National Commissioner, when they haven't received the clearance certificates? Because we have a lot of those. And maybe in writing, Chair, we can get that, how many, from you saying from Brigadier, right, up until the General, we require security clearance. Am I correct?
Honorable Chair, the 840 is senior management that I'm going to subject to a lifestyle audit. It's a different process. Yes, vetting, well, it depends on where you work, what you do. That's how we prioritize.
Okay.
But of course, most of the senior managers.
But we have an amount, right, of more or less how many people who are in those positions require vetting. Do you have it offhand, or you are obviously able to access that information and submit it to us?
The last year, I think the Division Crime Intelligence, they reached their target in terms of vetting. Actually, they overperformed, they overachieved. And hence, this current year, I gave them the target of 1,500, meaning I said, in that 1,500, make sure you finalize every one of the 840. Currently, some of the 840 senior managers, they do have security clearances, but there is a balance that is left, so they must finalize that. And normally when we appoint people, because it is not due to the people's own or negligence, Honorable Chair, that they don't have security clearance. The way the division was structured from those years, it was structured in such a way that it is impossible for them to vet the SAPs by making sure that their capacity are limited. You recall I said at some point there were about 7, the whole country. 7 vetting 186,000. So it tells you. So, but we are building that capacity in the crime intelligence, and they are increasing number, and the performance is also increasing.
And do we find that
Honorable Matthias, may you?
we're done? Okay.
May you please round up?
One more. And I'm
Yeah.
done. You said that during the investigations with Cat, you found that there were 80 other cases related to him.
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And it's expanding over what period, more or less, these cases that have been dangling around the country?
I think it goes far back as 2007.
So, National Commissioner, does that not just tell you that how we have failed the country if we have someone has 80, right, not 18 cases since 2007 up until now, and he's gone under the radar? That speaks to a failed South African Police Services.
I do agree, Honorable Chair, but we have discovered it ourselves. We are doing something about it.
Thank you. I'm done, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthys. Honorable members, when we come back from morning tea, I will need one speaker from the ANC, one speaker from the MKP, one speaker from the DA, one speaker from the EFF. And then after we shall have taken those 4 speakers, we will then break for lunch. I'm just alerting you so that when you come back, you must have lined your speakers. We are now breaking for tea. May we please come back after 15 minutes. From now, it will be 20 minutes before 20 minutes before 12 when we come back from tea. Yeah. Whatever you may want to call it. If you want to call for it a bit morning tea, you want to call it a stretch break, a comfort break. Yeah.
Hashtag SAFM Talking Point.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable for you. Whether it's a civil, criminal, or labor-related matter, we have a nationwide panel of attorneys standing by to assist you. SMS SAFM to 32195. That's SAFM to 32195 and we'll call you back. Clientele General is a licensed non-life insurer and an authorized FSP. Standard rates and terms and conditions apply.
Gordon Ramsay is back, and your favorite kitchen disasters are still somehow in business. New season, same confused chefs, terrifying walk-ins, and enough grease to fry your Wi-Fi. Watch as Gordon tries to fix the unfixable with nothing but sheer rage, British sarcasm, and an iron stomach. Kitchen Nightmares Season 8, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on S3. Come for the food, stay for the emotional damage.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and a whole country affected by gender-based violence. All on your favorite SABC radio station. Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. The Morning Brief.
How did we get here?
I think what is important is for us to deal with the situation at hand and make sure that the teacher assistants who haven't been paid until this day are paid urgently and quickly. One thing I can assure the listeners is that we will deal with the issues of consequence management in a very, very harsh way, because this is so unfortunate. This is a program that is noble, meant to assist young people who are unemployed, to give them on-job training, but also to assist them. Some of them have got literally nothing. Some of them have to pay rent and everything. But what is important is that we need to pay these teacher assistants, and we must be sympathetic. And we are very sympathetic and apologetic that we have been paid.
Deputy Minister of Employment and Labour, Jomo Sbiya.
Tulasizwe Simelane on The Morning Brief.
Hashtag SAFM Talking Point.
All right, you're listening to the Talking Point. We continue with the show this morning. Still tuned in to that ad hoc committee in Parliament, which is conducting its inquiry into corruption and interference allegations within the police service by members of the executive, in particular politicians, who are said to be acting in the interest and to protect criminal cartels. The National Police Commissioner, Cathy Mohlahlana, is in the witness seat for day 2 of those hearings, and he's largely been fielding questions from members of parliament. So we will continue with those particular hearings as they unfold. Before we do that, though, it's just gone 11:30. Let's take you to the news desk for the latest headlines.
Thank you, Cathy. On the news headlines, National Police Commissioner Cathy Mohlahlana says rooting out gangsterism, especially in the Western Cape, remains their top priority. The province has been grappling with severe gang-related violence for decades. Police are facing widespread criticism in their handling of the violence. The High Court in Johannesburg is today expected to deliver judgment in the businessman Cathy Mohlahlana's bail appeal, and the Agriculture and Rural Development Department has confirmed new cases of foot and mouth disease in the Free State, thus bringing the total number of infections in the province to 42. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
Amavubi have a big plan to finish as high as possible in Group C. However, Bafana Hugo believe nothing will stop them from collecting 3 points. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup African qualifier. Catch South Africa versus Rwanda on Tuesday, 14 October at 5:30 p.m. live on SABC3, SABC Plus, and SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4. Then on SABC radio stations at 6 p.m. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
I don't love going to school. I don't love sitting in a classroom with 50 other children. But I do love learning. Yakuthanda ukufunda isiXhosa as a language. I do love getting good grades. I do love UCT Online High School because I do love my future. Apply online before 28 November.
Bafana clash with neighbours Zimbabwe in a FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifier at the Moses Mabhida Stadium on Friday the 10th of October 2025 at 6 p.m. Tickets are now available nationwide and online at all Ticket Pro outlets, including Spar, Postnet and all petrol stations. Fill up Mabhida to push Bafana to qualify. Bafana supporters, bring the noise at eThekwini and gates will open at 3 p.m. If you are not in Durban, wear your Bafana Friday gear and catch the game on SABC2. For more info, visit safa.net and at Bafana on all social media platforms.
Get ready, Mzansi! Powerball has rolled over to a jaw-dropping 130 million rand guaranteed jackpot this Friday. Wanala Wasana. Play Powerball for the guaranteed 130 million rand jackpot today, and you could hit it lucky with the big millions. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120*7529# with USSD. Hard, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
These are the weekend shows on SAFM. Music of Africa with Shayla Ndikumana. The Weekend View with Bongiwe Zwane. The Jet Set Breakfast with Michelle Constant. Seasons with Khomotso KG Mweketsi. The Soundtrack of Your Life with Ernest Pillay. Weekend Soundowner Classics with Kutlwano Masote. Spotlight with Zai Khan. The Weekend with John Kherika. Shifting Your Lens with Bertha Charuma. This is SAFM.
Hashtag SAFM Talking Point.
All right, you're listening to The Talking Point as we continue to lead conversations that move us right through until midday. So we'll use then that tea break out of the ad hoc committee to have a bit more of those conversations. much of what we've been doing, of course, is tracking what is coming out of the Commission of Inquiry, the ad hoc committee's inquiry, rather, not the commission, the ad hoc committee's inquiry into the SAPS and the allegations thereof. Some of the comments that you've been sending through this morning, just listening to the questioning of the National Commissioner, that is Fanny Masemola. Somebody says, I don't know whether it's mandatory for every member of parliament to ask questions, but clearly some of these people are embarrassing themselves, especially if one doesn't have any idea of what they are expected to talk about. So that's a listener there, not really satisfied perhaps with the quality of questions coming through. Somebody else says, actually Solly in Cape Town says, hi Cathy, truly a mind-blowing interrogation. Who was the lady from the Cape Flats? She was very, very good. And that is Derilee, right? Derilee James. She known as an activist in Johannesburg, and communities that have been drug infested for a long time, but she's now a member of Parliament, I believe, for Action SA, right? Yeah, she's an Action SA MP, and as you can hear, she speaks very passionately about these issues. Let's take a few more of your WhatsApp voice notes, and then it'll get us ready to get back into that inquiry.
Let's have the conversation. WhatsApp voice notes on 0614 104 107.
Hi, good morning, Katie, and your producer and all the listeners of SAFM. Katie, you start with a very powerful motivation. So I'm going to address this with a bad language, but I'm a Xhosa guy, but you're going to translate with English so that everybody must hear what I'm saying. Katie, ke kgopela o tsebe ntho ela ne. A o se tšhelete, a nka se ratuwa ke batho kaofela ne. And o tlile mo o tlo bereka, o berekela family ya gago, o berekela wena. So nna ke a o rata Katie, and kaofela ba mamedi ba ntho SAFM le a o rata. So the allegations that surround le wena, forget about tsona ne. And nahana ntho e one, geke o ratuwe ke batho ka moka Katie mo lefatsheng. Never. Le modimo na ba ntse ba mo hloya, ba ntse ba mbitsa ka mabitso mara ba mo rapela and ba gopela everything mo go yena. So ke gopela hore be strong Katie. Nna ke a o rata ka pelo ka kaofela. From Sia, Cape Town, Katie. Thank you.
Seskati, hi. Wow, this is JCK Kaunda from Musina. Seskati, you know what? Let these top cops arrest one another for the better lives of our children's children. They will live under drug-free society. From there, they must go and arrest all those criminals, scoundrels, crooks, disguised as politicians. They must go after them. General Sibia wants our sympathy. He knows what the police do during raids. They come at an ungodly hour. That's the taste of his own medicine. He forgets that he arrested Advocate Tefu in the court of Senzo Meiwa. What goes around comes around. Let me rest my case for now. JCK, Kaunda from Sina.
Hi, morning, SFM and the listeners. This Parliament committee, I mean, is it necessary, really? Looking at whatever they are asking and the procedure they follow, is the same thing which is happening at Madlanga Commission. And there at Madlanga Commission, they are doing it properly right. Are we not just wasting MP's time and Mkwanazi and Masimola's time to go and investigate more?
Good morning, Siskati. Mbongo Sundi Samboyisa. Yes, Siskati, can government do away with tenders? You see, I like it when they think they have succeeded in life. They are successful because of getting these tenders, corrupt tenders, and then they lose everything. They even kill to get these tenders. So government should do away with tenders. As a belief man, Siskati, this thing is not working. It like empowered very, very few people. Otherwise, millions of people are suffering. Do away with tenders, please. Matobela, yeah, thanks, Siskati.
Morning, Kathy. Yeah, I don't know, it's an ANC renewal of this kind of a corruption. It's too much. It's too much. You know what? In the Pompo, we don't even have the X-ray in some of the hospital, man. Eh? Why those cadres are they not telling their fellow cadres, or like, you know, the man that is being hidden in Matras, they should buy an X-ray, you know, in this hospital like Malamulele Hospital, Agian Hospital, because those people, they don't even have an X-rays, man. But why the fellow cadres are enriching themselves? Hi, man. This is high time for them to call each other into order and expose each other. Yo.
Hi, Cathy and SAFM listeners. Cathy, you know what? I want to believe the National Commissioner, but something is also just not making sense, because it either seems that he purposely wanted to hang up General Sabia by not lodging a case or hold him accountable, because he keeps saying, if we got the evidence, we know the plot now, we know the motive now because of the phone. But what if they never got the phone from Cat? Because at last I heard he allowed the finance or the PKTT the budget until December. So if they never found the phone, that is very concerning, which means what would have happened then, because they never had the notice. And since he went to the president, since he tried to get hold of the commissioner, it was all just dead ends. But not once does he say, look here, for a fact, this is as an illegal order or whatever. So for me, it's difficult to believe him. I think maybe he has his own motives, because it seems more like it was all not. I'm not saying what the statements and allegations are wrong, but I mean just in this one aspect of where it was so simple, he could pick up the phone and tell the office, look here, forward the documents, and just created a report. But he can't pick up the phone and say, look here, no, this is a wrong directive or something like that. So we have to speculate, and it seems no one is asking the questions that we want to hear the answers. Is now and then we're getting, seems most of the other parties just run around with the questions.
Hashtag SAFM Talking Point.
With the ever-changing financial landscape, it can be difficult to make sense of all the moves at times. Join me, Jimmy Moyaha, on the SAFM Market Update with MoneyWeb, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m, as we break down the key market trends, top financial stories, and smart investment insights, all in one place. It's everything you need to stay financially informed and ahead of the curve.
This October month, SAFM shines a light on mental health awareness. This month, we bring you conversations that break the stigma, encourage care, and provide strategies to protect your mental well-being. Because it's okay not to be okay. And together, we can build a healthier tomorrow. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
I'm Michelle Constant. Join the JSB crew and I every Saturday and Sunday morning between 7 and 10 a.m. We promise to keep you informed and entertained with innovation, culture, cars, travel, life learnings, environment, and of course, your big fat juicy. Small stories, big ideas, massive inspiration. The Jet Set Breakfast on SAFM.
SAFM Music. Good times, good memories.
Somebody
Old school sounding so good. SAFM Music with you wherever you go. Hashtag SAFM Talking Point. Conversations that you connect with and react to. SAFM.
Cathy, let me tell you something. Ramaphosa is behind this thing of Mukwanazi and Masemola. Look at the confidence that they have when they present their case in the Madlanga Commission and in Parliament. And check, now those guys who are implicated are starting to be arrested and everything. Ramaphosa is going to finish these ANC thieves. I'm telling you, through Masemola
and Mukwanas. He is behind it, and they don't know. They think these guys are just acting on their own. Watch the space.
Honorable members, we must resume. May I check from the ANC who is speaking? Honorable Ngola. Okay.
Morning, Cathy. Shame Masemula is struggling a little bit, and these guys are really pushing him. And I think it's been a long time also. He's been on a stand there for quite a long time. But yeah, some of the questions are unfair. The guy is under a lot of duress from his seniors, and his colleagues are also not helping in running the department, and now he's being grilled for some of the things that you think are really unfair. Thanks, Pilani from Hawick.
Hi, Cathy.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
All right, so on that note, then let's continue with the proceedings at the ad hoc committee and take you back live into the chambers at Parliament.
Department of Justice did send us the whistleblower protection bill as part of the legislative program. So, Chair, we agree with the General. General, I think let's start yesterday. Yesterday, something unprecedented happened. A chief of staff called the entire nation to a press briefing. We have never seen it before. So I want to check if in the service do you have internal communication protocols, or it's a Vula's Buka kind of a situation?
Thanks, Honorable Chair and members. We do have communication protocols. We have a policy, national instruction on communication, which says exactly who should communicate. It's normally members that are appointed to do communication. In each province, there is one head office, there is also, and National Commissioner and provincial commissioners also can communicate, and of course other members like your Deputy National Commissioners. So there is a regulated space.
Okay, that's fine. Let's not persuade further. I think Mr. Ngabinde will also come to testify in the talk. Who is Brigadier Liteko? Do you know a person by the name of Brigadier Liteko?
Litoko.
Litoko.
Oh, sorry. Is a chief of staff in my office, Honorable Chair.
What would be your reaction if General Sbia comes to the ad hoc committee and testify that on the 3rd of January 2025, he received a letter written by Brigadier Liteko to him, instructing him to proceed with the dissolution process of the political killings testing? What would be your reaction to that?
Yeah, Honorable Chair and members, my response will be that the Chief of Staff in my office sent the letter, the directive from the Minister to the deputies, which is Lieutenant General Msikidi, was acting as National Commissioner by then, and also sent to Lieutenant General Sibia to say, yes, do attend to it.
Is there no letter written from your office by your Chief of Staff to the Deputy National Commissioner of Police, Lieutenant General Sibia, that instructs him directly? I'm not talking about the letter from the minister that could have been transferred. I'm talking about a letter that deliberately instructs your deputy to proceed was on the 3rd of January 2025 to proceed with the dissolution process and the report on the 14th of January 2025. Is there no such a letter?
Honorable Chair, I do agree. I say the Chief of Staff in my office did send a directive to both the deputies that they attend to the minister's letter. However, I'm on record to have said that between that time and until when I arrived back in the office, nothing has been done by that time. And the letter that General Sibia brought on the 14th and the 15th, Honorable Chair, that's the two letters I nullified. Whatever he might have received, nothing wrong. Let's take it for a moment that he received that directive and he did what he did. Come the 14th, come the 15th. The same letter that he have, I tell him that I am not subscribing to this. So stop doing this and leave it, get out of it. Don't do it anymore. I will do it myself. So directive be given on the 2nd or 3rd, Honorable Chairperson. I come the 14th, yes, he says, National Commissioner, Minister says we must dissolve the PKTT. Here is an instruction signing so that we dissolve. I look at it and says, no, we don't do it this way. Honorable Chair, you would recall yesterday, I even explained how the interaction of that day when he told me this House Scorpions, the way the directive is, this House Scorpions was dissolved, so it's in order. Then I told him why we can't do it, and that let's not do it this way. It's not my way of doing it. I'm going to do it differently, and I explain how it should be done. Phase approach, winding down, and go and come up with that plan. Come the 15th, he come with the letter. Well, I must say I never read the whole of it, but at glance I saw again immediate disbandment. And I said, no, you know what? Leave this matter, don't do it anymore. I will do it myself. So whether there was a directive from my office on the 1st or 2nd to him, that doesn't matter because nothing happened in that period. Whatever he have done during that period,
the third one.
Whatever he have done in that period, the product of that's what came to me on the 14th. And on the 14th, I told him what to do, which he went to do with the assistance of another employee of the service. He came back on the 15th. Again, I said, seems you don't understand what I'm saying. Leave this matter, get out of it. So whether the directive on the 2nd, I don't deny it. I said it is standard that whenever such matter come to the office of National Commissioner, it will be directed to the relevant offices.
Okay. So, did you authorize the letter of the 3rd?
Did I?
Did you authorize the letter of the 3rd of January?
Honorable Chair.
Or how is the communication from your office being get authorized? Or anyone can write a letter and send it without having checked with the principal if this letter should be sent in this form?
No, like when I'm here now, work hasn't stopped in my office. Whatever comes there, they will channel it to the relevant people that are supposed to do the work.
So whoever was in your office when you were on leave authorized the letter?
Yeah, they send it to the relevant offices.
Okay, let's walk down to section 207, subsection 2 of the Constitution, which gives you a legal duty and a constitutional obligation to exercise control and manage the police service in South Africa. Now, where do you think that exercising control and managing of the police service screws may have been loosened. Because now at the disposal of the people of South Africa is a service that is in limbo, is a service that is at war with itself. So where do you think that you may have missed it somewhere to manage? I hear that you say you did your best to manage and mitigate this situation. Maybe can you take us through this best you did to manage, control the police service so that it does not spiral in this manner? So what efforts were made by the National Commissioner?
Well, thanks, Honorable Chair. I wouldn't know exactly which area are you referring to when it comes to managing control. I think I did what I supposed to do. After the directive was received, I expressed my view in terms of how I view the matter should be treated, and I submitted that report to the minister. And so I don't see where I missed to manage. I don't foresee that I can't be held responsible for the actions of the minister and any other. I did my work, I investigated crime, we discovered crime, we're investigating it. So I think I did manage.
Okay, but paragraph 4.1.1 of the terms of reference of the ad hoc committee directs us to investigate whether there is political interference in the police service. Is there political interference in the police service, according to what you have experienced as the National Commissioner?
Yeah, well, my my experience will be that in as far as this specific directive of the 31st of December 2024 is concerned, yes, there was interference where the minister then gave that directive without, well, he might have applied his mind, I don't know, but when you apply your mind, you apply your mind based on facts. So I take that as interference because he didn't have facts that have led him to decide. What I heard yesterday from the senior counsel to say he would say receive complaints about PKTT, receive reports from Meriti Haas and all those others. Those are not reasons that can make you disband a team. That I would say yes, sounded is I regard it then as an interference, because should he have come to want to understand anything about the team, that could have been a different situation altogether. Get a briefing, understand, he put his problems forward, we give responses, and he then can give a directive, or we jointly find a solution.
Okay. So, along this interference process, you take General Sbeya to a leave of absence or something like that. He takes you to court. You depose an affidavit to the Pretoria High Court that, amongst other things that it raises, is that actually the minister has got a legal obligation to oversee the police service and its units and task teams. Are you aware of those, the contents of that affidavit?
Yeah, I might not remember everything of that affidavit, but yeah, I take it is there.
Okay, but do you get the fact that the affidavit says something different to what you are saying now in terms of the political interference?
I do take the point of the honorable member, Chair, that he says that's what that affidavit is saying.
Okay.
No reason to doubt.
Okay, your CV suggests that you have at some point led you headed in intelligence operations. And amongst what the main witness, General Mkhwanazi, alleges here under oath is that the letter itself in its nature is an ammunition to stop reforms in the crime intelligence. Because part of what it asserts is that there must be the filling of vacancies in the crime intelligence must be halted completely in all levels. So he has got a strong view that the letter itself is to stop the reforms. Are you aware
All right, we're going to have to pause things there with our coverage of proceedings as we wrap up the talking point and hand you over to the update at noon. It's been a pleasure being in your company as always, and we'll do this all again from next week Monday between 9 and midday. Have yourselves a lovely weekend. Stay safe and stay tuned to SAFM for all your latest news and current affairs updates.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. Leading the conversation.
Twelve o'clock on Friday, the 10th of October 2025. A very warm welcome to Updated Noon here on SAFM. Leading the conversation, I'm Sakina Kamwendo. Coming up on the show in the next hour.
Have you reported such a matter to the President?
Through Honorable Chair, I reported everywhere. I reported to the President, General Mkhwanazi reported to Police Portfolio Committee.
The National Police Commissioner